The pharaoh's betrayal that could have changed humanity, the secret of the pyramids, underground halls, and gods who may never have been gods at all. The history of ancient Egypt looks like a story about greatness, stone, and eternity. But there is another version. A dark one. A forbidden one. The one never taught in schools. According to it, Egypt was not just a civilization. It was a control node, the center of a system that governed humanity for thousands of years. And at one point that system malfunctioned. Egypt as a place of presence. In the oldest texts, the gods do not behave like symbols. They act like beings. They arrive, punish, teach, demand. Esoteric traditions take this literally. The gods of Egypt were not myths. They were forces that physically or semi-physically existed here. They may have been interdimensional forms of consciousness, extraterrestrial colonizers, remnants of an ancient supercivilization, planet-scale artificial intelligence. Humans to them were not children or creations, more like an environment, energy as the true currency. Across many ancient religions, the same pattern repeats: worship, fear, rituals, sacrifice, collective emotion. From an esoteric perspective, this is not spirituality. It is energy production, consciousness energy. Fear and pain produce the strongest charge. Worship creates a steady flow. Death releases concentrated power. If entities capable of using such energy exist, history begins to look very different. The pharaoh as a conduit, not a king. In Egypt, the pharaoh was not merely a ruler. He was a god on earth, or perhaps more accurately, a representative of the gods. Priests managed the rituals. Temples managed the energy flows. Pyramids managed the core processes. It was a system that functioned for centuries without disruption. Until one pharaoh appeared. The figure they tried to erase. Pharaoh Akhenaten is one of the most enigmatic figures in history. His depictions differ drastically from other rulers. Elongated skull, narrow shoulders, wide hips, unusual body proportions, strange facial features, as if artists were trying to portray something difficult to express in ordinary human terms. Some scholars call it artistic style. Esoteric interpretations see a hint of something else. A rebellion against the heavens. Akhenaten did what no one before him had done. He did not simply reform religion. He attacked the foundation of the system itself. Temples of the old gods were closed. Priests lost power. Cults were banned. Ancient names were erased. For the first time in millennia, the gods were no longer served. The cult of Aten, light without fear. In place of the pantheon came a single symbol, Aten, the solar disk. But one detail stands out. This cult lacks the usual features of ancient religions. No terror. No demons. No complex sacrificial rites. No dark underground ceremonies. Only light. Esoteric interpretations describe Aten not as a conventional god, but as primordial cosmic consciousness, a source that does not require human energy. If so, Akhenaten attempted the impossible, to connect humanity to a different cosmic principle. In effect, he cut off the old powers. A city that appeared overnight. The new capital, Akhenaten, modern Amarna, was built in the desert from nothing. No strategic necessity. No natural resources. No previous settlement. As if only the location mattered. Some mystics believe it lies on a special geomagnetic point, perhaps a node in a planetary grid. The city may not have been a political center at all, but a ritual or experimental one. The abrupt end. After Akhenaten's death, something strange happened. The city was abandoned almost immediately. His name was removed from monuments. Statues were destroyed. His cult was eliminated. History was rewritten. This was not the treatment of a failed ruler. It was the treatment of dangerous information. The system restored. Old cults returned. Priests regained authority. Ancient rituals resumed. Everything went back to normal. As if a brief disruption had been corrected. The Giza Plateau is the core mechanism. Here stand the largest structures ever built in the ancient world. Especially the Great Pyramid of Giza. Officially, a tomb. Yet it lacks what a tomb should contain. No burial text. No typical decorations. No clear evidence of interment. A complex system of chambers and shafts of unknown purpose. Its construction precision is so extreme that replicating it remains difficult even today. The pyramid as a device. In esoteric theories, the pyramid is a machine. Proposed functions include planetary resonance generator, energy transmitter, signal beacon, field stabilizer, consciousness-altering instrument. Its internal geometry seems designed for waves, sound, or vibration rather than human use. Acoustic studies of the Grand Gallery have revealed unusual properties. Sound may have been the key. Initiation or transformation. One theory suggests the pharaoh was not buried inside the pyramid, but transformed. A ritual intended to change a human into something else. Possibly a vessel, conduit, or embodiment of power. This could explain why pharaohs were called gods. Not because they were born divine, but because they became so. The soul trap theory. One of the darkest interpretations links the pyramids to the cycle of death and rebirth. Human consciousness may undergo a controlled process after death. The pyramids could have functioned as nodes within that system, not to liberate the soul but to redirect it. Archons and control of reality. Gnostic texts describe entities called Archons, rulers of the material world. They may not possess physical bodies. They could exist as fields, structures, or intelligences. Their role is to maintain a system in which humanity remains confined. Egyptian gods may represent cultural interpretations of these forces. The Hall of Records beneath the Sphinx. Near the pyramids stands the Great Sphinx. Legends speak of hidden chambers beneath it, the Hall of Records, a repository of knowledge from a previous world. Esoteric traditions claim it may contain history of a pre-cataclysmic civilization, advanced technologies, star maps, information about humanity's true origin. If such records exist, they could rewrite human history entirely. A legacy of a pre-deluge civilization. Many theories suggest the pyramids predate Egyptian civilization itself. Possible builders include an unknown advanced culture, the civilization of Atlantis, a non-human race, or the very beings later called gods. The Egyptians may have merely inherited and used these structures. The Anunnaki in the cosmic scenario. Mesopotamian texts describe the Anunnaki, beings who descended from the sky. Some modern interpretations link them to the gods of multiple ancient cultures. According to this theory, humanity was engineered as a workforce, and Earth became a managed colony. The pyramids would then be part of that infrastructure. Why this would be hidden? If even a fraction of these ideas were true, the implications would be enormous. Humanity would no longer be the center of its own story. Religions would take on a different meaning. Ancient technological capability would need re-evaluation. Such knowledge could destabilize civilization itself. A possible attempt at liberation. Seen through this lens, Akhenaten's actions appear radically different. He was not dismantling tradition. He may have been trying to break a contract. Perhaps he discovered something forbidden. Perhaps he received knowledge from another source. Perhaps he understood humanity's true role, defeat, or warning. He was erased, but not completely. Fragments remain, images, ruins, traces. As if total removal would have required destroying too much. The final possibility. The most unsettling idea is that the system never disappeared. It may simply have changed form. Ancient temples replaced by new institutions. Rituals replaced by subtler mechanisms. Gods replaced by different symbols. And the pyramids remain, silent structures aimed at the sky. Perhaps they still function. Perhaps they are dormant. Perhaps they were never meant for us at all. If one pharaoh truly tried to oppose this power, history shows the outcome. Oblivion. And one question remains. What did he discover that even after thousands of years no one is willing to explain?